ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ORL Season 11 Round 5 here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Spain, as ORL makes its way into Europe. For those of you guys who missed qualifying session, this is your grid lineup. Fabrizio Donoso takes pole with a strong lap of a 17.1. Couldn't quite make it into the 16s with Stiv and Hayes close behind. Nameless takes 4th ahead of Veloce James in the Alfa Romeo in 5th. Napadovsky in 6th with FK Gaming in 7th ahead of Prisnida and Soron, as we're seeing those McLarens locking out the 4th row of the grid. Wow takes 10th with Calcifer in 11th. Calcifer was looking really strong, sitting in about 6th place in qualifying, but he dropped through the order towards the end. Triton Lehman in 12th. We saw him have a strong run out last time out in Azerbaijan, as Get Owned in 13th, making a two-man Williams group there. Mark is in 14th ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Kopi, who is replacing FormulaDani. Hazard takes 16th ahead of Krusix and Hadler. With Photon and Hyperz rounding out the back of the grid, they weren't able to set any laps in qualifying, and that's why they are at the back of the grid, despite being two of the faster drivers of ORL. The championship standings currently stands with Hyperz in 1st on 77 points ahead of Napadovsky. He's got a 32-point advantage. FormulaDani is in 3rd with I'm not sure who I've written. That's it. Mark with 27 points. He's tied with Colagon, as Photon and James are tied on 20 points in 6th and 7th. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes sit on 78 points with Red Bull Racing on 71, Alfa Romeo on 63, with Toro Rosso and Ferrari rounding out the top 5. And as all the drivers of the grid line up on the start-finish straight, don't forget, guys, in the chat to timestamp your favorite moments of the race so we can use it for highlight purposes, and we can have another great mid-season highlight video. But formalities are over and done with. The drivers are lining up on the grid. Are we ready to go racing? Of course we are. Fabrizio Donoso, as we mentioned, lining up at the front in that Mercedes, who, as we said, are first in the Constructors. 5 red lights, and we wait for them to go, and away we go for the Spanish GP. It's a good start actually there from Nameless, starting in 4th place. Nameless up into 3rd, as we mentioned, really good starts. This might be Stiv going for the lead into turn 1, side by side with Donoso. A little bit of contact. Nameless and Hayes side by side. That's a McLaren going off into the distance. We're going to ride on board with Nameless, who's having a great qualifying and a great start. Fabrizio Donoso looking for the outside into turn 4. Bit more contact coming through from the pair of them, as Donoso going to get forced out wise, as Nameless might want to join in the action. Stiv forced to go defensive into turn 5. And this might give Nameless the chance to make his way through. Also seeing Wow and Lehman with great starts, gaining 3 and 4 places respectively. Hyperz up into 5th place. We knew he was going to be a fast mover. Prisnida has already DNF. Not quite sure what happened. We did see a McLaren going off at turn 1. But here we go, as that's an Alpha looking very aggressive. It's James looking for a way through onto Hayes. But actually, let's just stay on board, because he is very, very close indeed right now. James, can he get a good drive? Obviously, no DRS enabled just yet, but Stiv taking the lead. This is stopping Donoso from pulling away, and this is exactly what James wants. If he wants to make some inroads in the championship onto Napadovsky and Hyperz. Here we go. Donoso fairly close to Stiv, no DRS. He might be able to go for a little dive bomb. That's going to be Stiv going defensive. Donoso looks for the outside. Now could potentially go for the cutback. He's going to get a much better run through turn 3, you know, right on the tail of Stiv in that dirty air. Could he possibly look for the dive bomb into 4? But FK Gaming right on the tail of Calcifer. Can he look for the inside? This is the battle for 9th place. As up ahead, no move's going to be taken, as FK Gaming down the inside. Calcifer will have the inside for turn 2. Any potential cutback from FK Gaming? No, I don't think there is. Calcifer. Yeah, that's Wow running really wide there. He's going to look to rejoin on the track, and this is great news for Calcifer, who jumps up into 8th place, as Wow just had a lag spike and dropped behind all of these guys. It's actually Donoso. What's this? Side by side as Hadler and Calcifer, that is as Mark looking to find any potential way through. Hyperz also gets a good run as well. Turn 4 might see a pass. Hyperz, will he go for the dive bomb? No, he's going to back out of it. Oh, this one worked as he's going to go down the inside. Can anyone else actually gain advantage of this? Mark going to look for the inside. He's going to make his way through on Calcifer, and Hyperz might be looking to pick up the pieces as he's going to get a pretty good cut back here. Hyperz down the inside into turn 3 will make his way up into the top 10. Pushes Calcifer a little bit wide. Calcifer going to try to hold this around the outside. But wow, now on the inside of both of them. Any contact? No, not at all just yet. Hyperz still on the inside for turn 4. But Calcifer, he's holding it around the outside. They're holding each other up. Maybe Calcifer should let the position go. But great wheel-to-wheel racing from the pair of them as they make their way up the hill into the turn 7 and 8 chicane. Hyperz on the outside. It does get very slippery out there. Still side by side. Great racing from the two of them. But now through turn 9, Calcifer gets forced out wide. There's more contact. Oh, side. Great racing from Hyperz. And Calcifer gets a little bit physical as well. Might be looking for something here. Calcifer forced to finally heal the position. But look how much time Hyperz has lost. And that must have frustrated him just a tad there. Because Mark does have DRS. But I don't think it's going to be enough to save him from the Mercedes man. Oh, Mark goes really late under brakes, so almost collides with Hadler, but he holds on to the position. Hyperz going to look for the inside into turn 3. Mark around the outside. He doesn't care about Hyperz right now. This is actually fantastic stuff coming through from Mark. All of a sudden, he looked like he was defending, but now looking to find the way through into 8th place as they make their way into turn 5. Can Mark do it under the brakes? No, he can't. That's a bit of a lockup coming through from Hadler. Mark might be able to use this to find the way through. Hyperz just going to sit back and let the events unfold in front of him as Hadler. Can he hold it around the outside? No, he can't. Mark will make his way through the uphill chicane as Hyperz into turn 9. We saw him side by side with Calcifer. It's exactly the same as before. Speaking of Calcifer, he's watching all of this unfold in front of him as Hyperz outside for turn 10. Can he find a cutback? Yes, he can, but finding it down the inside into 11. No, he's going to have to back out. Hadler going to be able to hold it through turn 12. As Hadler actually losing a lot of time there to Mark. He does have DRS, but he's too far back to get the slipstream. Hyperz looking to do the Alex Albon. He's got to go all the way over onto the inside, almost onto the grass. What can he do? Down the inside into turn 1. No, he can't, as Hadler going to be able to hold the position. DRS available. Hadler has DRS as well. Hyperz are going to go for the outside. We saw Hadler defend on the outside last time round. Can Hyperz find the way through? No, he can't. Hadler just sticking within that DRS, but Hyperz round the outside of turn 2, inside of turn 3. Hyperz finds a move up into 9th, and James is ghosting. Oh no, James, not again. Out of the pit stop, will he be able to come out ahead of Donoso? Speaking of Donoso, here we go, riding aboard. Can he do it? Nameless just out of the pits. Donoso round the outside. As now, what can Nameless do? He's going to hold it around the outside for turn 2. Let's on board with Kobe. He's going to be able to see this all unfold. Fabrizio Donoso with a cutback down the inside on the exit of 3 and into 4. Donoso, can he find it? Once again, we're going to see drivers trying to hold it around the outside of 4, but this time it doesn't work. To the pits. Where are they going to come? Oh no, Steve. You didn't. Oh, fight with Mark because he can battle Mark for a position. However, Lehman going to go defensive. Hyperz will take the position. Lehman might have actually just lifted off as well. As our man Karun Chandok's Mr. Ghost is in the pit lane for us. He's our pit lane analyst. Actually, Nameless going to follow Donoso through. Fantastic stuff from Nameless. I think maybe he would have gone for a couple more laps, but there we go. We can see behind. This is Mark going down the inside of Lehman. He's going to be able to find the move. Lehman, they're still side by side as they make their way through turn 2. Mark into turn 3. Lehman, he's going for the cutback. Going to be able to make his way onto the inside. We can see the grass on our camera. Lehman down the inside, but we see people holding it. There's contact. Lehman gets sent sideways. I'm not quite sure whose fault that was. He reverses back into the track straight away, and he does retire from the session battle. Even more good news for Hyperz. Donoso dives it down the inside into turn 4, but it doesn't matter. Stiff going to try to hold it around the outside. Will be able to do so. Donoso on the outsiders. Stiff pushes him out a little bit wide as Donoso will look for the cutback. Will slot right behind Stiff. Stiff goes defensive. He says, there's no way I'm letting you through, Mr. Donoso. Actually, no, he's about 20 points off. However, Donoso going for the outside as Stiff goes defensive down into turn 1. Oh, Donoso with so much of an overspeed thanks to that DRS. And we're about to enter the final lap of the race. Stiff is kind of close to Donoso. He has a bit of Urs left, but so does Donoso. Stiff, can we see a last battle coming through? Donoso will go defensive. Stiff, this is where it will all happen. The final lap of the Grand Prix. Stiff, are you kidding me? He does it round the outside. That's absolutely fantastic stuff from Stiff. But is there... Oh my god, I keep pressing the wrong button. Stiv, is there anything Donoso can do? Oh, he's got to get close. Turn 10 might be where he has to do this. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Stiv waited. He bided his time, but it doesn't matter because Donoso only has 3 seconds of time penalty. Stiv has 5. He needs to stretch out a 2-second lead, but I don't think these guys really care. They want to take the win on the track. And Stiv has done it. I don't know how he's done it, but maybe he's just kept his tires a little bit better in the dirt here. Stiv, Donoso into turn 10. Little bit of contact. That is the final overtaking point. That's the final passing point. Stiv, for sure now, will take the win on the track, but it will be Donoso who will claim the win after the penalties count, unless Donoso picks up a time penalty through these final couple of corners. But Stiv, coming around the final corner, he'll be kind of happy with that. Stiv takes the win. Right, so here are confirmation of your final standings after a fantastic round 5 here at the Spanish GP. Fabrizio Donoso takes first ahead of Stiv and Hayes, who rounds out the podium. Nameless takes 4th ahead of Hyperz. Everyone getting penalties in the top 6. Mark was your 6th place man ahead of Napadovsky and Hadler. Kazafa takes 9th ahead of Kopi and Wow, who is ahead of his Renault teammate Hazard. Photon takes 13th ahead of Velocity James in 14th. Get Owned and Crucix 15th and 16th. And then we have the DNFs of Lehman, Soren, FK Gaming and Presnider in 20th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our driver interviews. Joining us, we have our first place man, Fabrizio Donoso. Nameless is also joining us. He finished 4th place. And we have Calcifer and Mark as well. Good day to you all. And to kick things off, Fabrizio, great race from yourself. You kept it clean, and that's what won you the race in the end.
Yes, I was a messy start. I'm using a new pedals since 2 days now, so I'm kind of getting used to it still. But when I'm get going, the consistency is pretty nice, and yeah, I had a penalty only 3 seconds. I think Steve had 5 seconds. Might have been a pit
Yeah, it
entry
was.
penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but no, to be honest, the race was good. The strategy was good as well. Managed to overtake an Amles in front of me, and managed to catch back to Steve and make the pass, make the overtake. So yeah, at the end, I'm happy with the pace, and yeah, congrats to everyone who raced tonight.
Okay. Good job. And moving on to you, Nameless, you had a really nice race. You were sticking on the tails of the guys at the front for so long. How was that for you after a couple of difficult races earlier on in the season?
Yeah, finally a good race without any incidents. Some nice battles with Fabrizio Donoso after the pits. But overall, I was lacking a bit of pace on the hards more than on the medium. But yeah, I have to work on that. But overall, it was a good race, and I'm quite happy with it.
Right. And moving on to you, Mark, I believe you came 6th, was it?
Yeah.
Cool. How was your race? Because towards the end, you were closing in a lot on Napadovsky, and it looked like your entire race was really entertaining.
Yeah, because I misjudged the time limit in the end of quali, so yeah, had to start on the hard stand from P14 way behind in the back. So only compromised myself and then just try to stick the hards out long enough to so the mediums don't yeah run out in the end too much. And yeah, last lap the overtake was a bit messy, but I don't know if he spun because of me, because we touched again. But yeah, if he did, then I'm sorry for him that I hit him there.
Okay. Calcifer, you've had a couple
Yes,
of
yes.
poor qualifying results, but today everything started to look a little bit better. Qualified, was it 11th or 10th? And a decent race from
11th.
yourself.
Yeah, it was decent race. We had some wheel banging with Hyperz at the beginning, and that was pretty much all. Then I was just alone cruising.
Fair enough. Heading into the next race, I guess a question for all of you guys. Monaco. Going to be entertaining. How many of you guys are looking forward to it?
Well, it's my favorite track. So yeah, the thing in Monaco is just to keep your front green clean, and then you're pretty much guaranteed of a good result. So yeah, we'll have to look at that.
Actually, I'm going to give this to you, Nameless. We were kind of contemplating who to give a driver of the day to, but I think you won it, Nameless. It was either going to be, actually, I can't. It was between you, Mark, and Hyperz. So as our driver of the day, you get to have an honorary shout out. So who's your shout out to?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. But I think there are, as you said, many people that deserve driver of the day. So, as you mentioned earlier, Mark did a really good job. And yeah, I think it was a solid race from me, but there are other guys who did a great job too. So, yes, that's my shout out.
All right, thank you very much for that. Right, I'm gonna head off and do the outro for the stream. I'll come back in a second and talk to you guys if you want to, but feel free to jump out. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys in a sec, and thank you all very much for joining me tonight. Right, guys. So those were your top 6 or 4 of your top 7 or something like that. However, Donoso did take the win ahead of Stiv with Hayes in 3rd. Nameless took 4th. Hyperz took 5th, with Mark taking 6th place. Your driver of the day, as we did just announce as well, went over to Nameless. We hope you have really enjoyed this race. I've enjoyed it very much to cast it. If you guys haven't already, do hit us up with a follow over on Twitter at ORL Team. And you can, of course, follow me as well at MilkyCereal73. We constantly post updates to any events we're going to have, etc., etc. And you guys can get into contact with us as well through that. So it'd be great to see you over there as well. Of course, this week was saddened by the news of Antoine Hubert's death back at Spa-Francorchamps. So our thoughts do go to all the friends and family of him, and rest in peace, Antoine. From myself and from the rest of the ORL team, thank you guys once again for watching. We hope you have enjoyed. We'll see you next week at the same time, 7:45 p.m. BST for round number 6 at Monaco. See you guys then.